Most men never learn the art of creating sexual attraction, and as a result, they end up in the friend zone or stuck in frustrating, unfulfilling relationships. Don't be that guy. In this video, I'm going to show you the rare skills that almost no one talks about, skills that will make her want you in ways you've never experienced before. These tactics are all about igniting that sexual chemistry without even saying a word. If you're ready to transform your dating life, make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell. We drop the strategies that get real results, so stay tuned and never miss an opportunity to improve. 1. Gently caress her waistline. A slow, gentle touch near a woman's waist can be a game changer when it comes to building sexual tension. Why? Because the waistline is one of those subtle areas that's both intimate and non-invasive. When you gently caress her waistline, it sends a signal that you're comfortable with her body, but you're not rushing anything. It's about creating anticipation and leaving her wanting more. Imagine you're standing beside her, maybe walking or sitting closely, and your hand rests lightly on her waist for just a moment. The key is to keep it gentle. Don't grip or linger too long. Just let your hand softly glide across her side or lower back, creating a sense of closeness. This kind of touch is both sensual and respectful, showing her that you're interested in her body without being too forward. It's subtle, but it can trigger a lot of excitement, especially when done in the right context. Over time, these small, intentional touches can build up to something much more intimate, leaving her thinking about how good it felt long after the moment has passed. 2. Let your body press lightly against hers. Physical closeness is one of the most powerful ways to create intimacy and desire. When you let your body press lightly against hers, whether you're sitting next to each other, dancing, or even just standing close, you create a feeling of connection that's hard to ignore. But here's the trick. Don't overdo it. The contact should be light, almost incidental, so it feels natural rather than forced. For example, imagine you're both in a crowded room and you lean in slightly to talk to her. Your arm or shoulder might brush against hers, or maybe your legs are just barely touching if you're sitting down. This subtle body contact creates a sense of closeness that heightens attraction without feeling overbearing. It shows her that you're comfortable being physically close to her, and it gives her a taste of what that closeness feels like, leaving her wanting more. It's all about those small, almost unconscious moments of contact that slowly build sexual tension. Over time, she'll begin to crave that physical closeness, wondering what it would feel like to be even closer. 3. Kiss her gently and pull away slowly. A well-timed, gentle kiss can ignite serious passion, but here's where you can really play with her desire. Pull away slowly after the kiss. Don't linger too long or dive into a series of kisses right away. Instead, leave her wanting more. This teasing tactic is all about building anticipation and making her chase that next kiss. Imagine you're having a great moment, maybe after a nice dinner or a fun conversation, and you lean in for a soft, gentle kiss. Let it last just long enough for her to feel the spark, then slowly pull away, locking eyes with her as you do. Don't rush back in. Let her feel the absence of your lips, creating a sense of tension and curiosity. That pause, that little moment where you're not kissing but still close, is where the real magic happens. She'll feel the pull to close the gap, to bring you back in for more, and that's exactly what you want. This playful push and pull of desire is what keeps things exciting, making her think about that kiss long after it's over. 4. Compliment her body in a sensual way. Compliments go a long way, but if you want to truly spark her desire, you've got to make them sensual and personal. Telling her she's beautiful is nice, but complimenting specific aspects of her body, like her curves, the softness of her skin, or how she moves, can be far more effective in building sexual attraction. The key here is subtlety. You're not going for explicit, you're going for sensual. For example, instead of saying something like, "You have a great body," try something more specific, like, "I love the way your body feels next to mine," or "Your skin is so soft." These types of compliments show that you're paying attention to her in a deeper way. It's not just about looks, it's about how her body makes you feel. These comments are intimate and make her feel desired without being overly forward. They tap into her sensuality and let her know that you're noticing details that others might overlook. And when a woman feels seen and appreciated in such a personal way, it can create a powerful sense of attraction. Appreciating the advice? If you want to dive deeper, our free 60-minute strategy call is perfect for those ready to change their dating dynamics. Learn powerful strategies to meet more women and build your confidence. Secure your spot via the link in the pinned comment. 5. Talk about your own desires. Talking about your own desires is a great way to open the door to deeper sexual attraction. It's not about being explicit or making her uncomfortable. It's about creating an atmosphere where both of you can share what turns you on in a subtle, playful way. By being open about what you find attractive, You're inviting her into that space and letting her feel comfortable expressing her own desires. For instance, you could casually mention something that you find sexy, like how much you love the feeling of her hand in yours, or the way her perfume drives you wild. You're not jumping straight into sexual talk. You're just laying the groundwork, showing her that you're comfortable with your own desires and that you find her incredibly attractive. This kind of conversation can be light and flirty, but it builds a sense of connection because it's personal. By sharing your desires, you're creating a space where she feels like she can open up about hers too. And when that kind of openness is on the table, the sexual tension between you can quickly escalate. 6. Stroke the back of her neck. The back of the neck is one of those incredibly sensitive spots that's often overlooked. A slow, gentle stroke along this area can send shivers down her spine and create an instant feeling of closeness and intimacy. This move is especially effective because it's unexpected. It's not one of the more obvious areas to touch, but when done right, it can be a major turn-on. Imagine you're standing behind her. Maybe you're giving her a light hug from behind, and your hand naturally finds its way to the back of her neck. You stroke it lightly, maybe with your fingers just barely brushing her skin. Keep it slow and subtle. Don't rush. This type of touch is intimate without being overly sexual, but it can still spark serious desire. It's all about the softness and the intention behind the touch. When you focus on these less obvious areas, it feels more personal, almost like a secret only the two of you share. The back of the neck is a sweet spot for creating that kind of intimate connection, and it's one of those small gestures that can escalate things quickly. 7. Play with the straps of her clothing. Here's a playful, subtle way to spark desire. Lightly play with the straps of her clothing. Whether it's the strap of her dress, a tank top, or even a bra strap peeking through, this small gesture can feel incredibly intimate without being too forward. The act of adjusting or lightly toying with her straps draws attention to her body in a way that's casual, but undeniably flirty. For example, imagine you're sitting next to her, and one of her straps has fallen slightly off her shoulder. Instead of just pointing it out, you could reach over and gently adjust it for her, letting your fingers linger just a little longer than necessary. This small, seemingly innocent action creates a moment of physical connection that's both playful and intimate. It's the kind of touch that feels natural, but the underlying intention, drawing attention to her skin, her shoulders, or her collarbone, is what makes it subtly sexual. It's all about keeping things light and teasing while building that anticipation for something more. 8. Incorporate silence into your conversations. Silence can be a powerful tool when it comes to building sexual tension. In the right moment, a well-timed pause can speak louder than words. When you're having a conversation with her, don't feel the need to fill every moment with chatter. Sometimes a meaningful pause, where you just hold her gaze or give her a playful smile, can create a sense of anticipation that makes her heart race. For instance, imagine you're talking, and the conversation naturally hits a lull. Instead of jumping in with more words, just pause, look into her eyes, and smile. Let the silence hang for a moment. That slight tension, the unspoken connection, is what makes her wonder what you're thinking. Silence can create a sense of mystery and anticipation, making her feel like something more is about to happen. It's about being confident enough to let the moment speak for itself, rather than rushing to fill the space. When done right, these pauses create an undeniable sexual tension that leaves her wanting to know what's going to happen next. 9. Stroke her inner wrist while speaking. The inner wrist is one of the most sensitive spots on the body, but it's often overlooked when it comes to touch. A light stroke on her inner wrist while you're speaking can be incredibly intimate and can heighten her sense of attraction toward you. This is a move that's subtle but highly effective in building sexual tension without being overly aggressive. Imagine you're in the middle of a conversation, and at some point you lightly take her hand in yours, letting your thumb softly trace circles on her inner wrist. The skin here is thin and sensitive, making even the slightest touch feel intense. This kind of touch shows that you're paying attention to the little things and that you know how to create intimacy without going straight for the obvious spots. It's subtle, it's slow, and it's incredibly effective at building desire, especially when paired with eye contact or a soft smile. 10. Complement her scent with a seductive tone. Scent plays a huge role in attraction, and letting her know that her scent drives you wild can be an incredibly seductive compliment. But here's the key. Don't just say, "You smell good." That's fine. But if you really want to turn her on, take it up a notch. Use a lower, softer tone when you tell her how much her scent is affecting you. It's about letting her know that her scent is having a physical, emotional impact on you. For example, lean in close, maybe during a hug or when you're sitting near her, and say something like, "Your scent is intoxicating." Keep your voice low and steady, almost like a whisper. This not only compliments her, but also makes her feel like her presence is having a powerful effect on you. Scent is deeply personal, And when you acknowledge it in this way, you create a sensory connection that can lead to even deeper attraction. It's a small compliment, but when said in the right tone, it can leave her thinking about how much she's turning you on, which only builds the desire between you. So now that you know what makes women want you sexually, what's next for you? Discover how women act when pretending not to like you, or learn how to spot the signs of heart-stopping sexual chemistry. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.